My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we return to Sydney Motorsport Park for our continued final round coverage of the 2018 Shannons Nationals, featuring the CAMS Payce Australian Formula 4 Championship and the Australian Production Car Series. Then we head north to Queensland Raceway as we reach the halfway point of the Hi-Tech Drift All-Star Series, as the best of the best in Australian drifting duke it out under lights around the paperclip. This is Speedweek.
"40 kilometres west of the Sydney CBD is where we find the home of motorsport for the Harbour City. It's just over half an hour's drive away, affectionately known as Eastern Creek. These days its term, or its correct title, is Sydney Motorsport Park, and it's a great precinct, a great hub for the sport in this city, surrounded by all sorts of great industry, and the track itself is booked out nearly 365 days a year with some sort of motoring and motorsport activities. A very fitting location indeed to stage the grand final of the Shannons Nationals for 2018.
Cars lining up, heading out into pit lane now for the CAMS Payce Australian Formula 4 Championship. We've seen some fantastic races at the last round at Winton this weekend. A little bit more relaxed, but still no less intense of racing.
Good workout for these 14, 15, 16-year-old kids to have 6 races over a weekend in these cars. They left there on Sunday knowing that they had done some work. The great news for Jackson Walls is that he gets to start from pole position for this second race of the weekend. A reverse grid for the top 5 here in race number 2. So Jackson Walls, finishing 5th yesterday, finds himself in pole today. Lockie Hughes will also come from 2nd place. So Ryan Sewell actually starting from P3. Aaron Love from position number 4. Jano Jada, our winner yesterday, taking his 10th win of the season. He'll start from position number 5. Thomas Smith from P6. Dave Tones from 7. Josh Smith from 8th. Artie Jonick from 9th and Antonio Studi from 10th place. That's where we're going to have to focus our eyes on P3 and P5. Jano Jada, expect him to get off the line well also.
And he does.
Bit of wheel spin on the outside though for Lockie Hughes.
Wow, Lockie Hughes goes straight to the inside, running right down the dirty wall there and into the lead of the race. He's gazumped Jackson Evans, and Jaden Ojada's going to go wide and high right round the outside. It's going to be a long run down to turn 2 for Jaden Ojada, but wow, have a look at this start from Lockie Hughes.
It was actually Aaron Love that got the great start there, Daz.
That is too, sorry.
Yeah, he's up in front. Lockie Hughes got a fair bit of wheel spin on the outside. He's dropped back now to around about 5th place, 4th or 5th place.
Well, a little bit of bumping in the mid-pack there too. You don't want to connect wheel to wheel in these things. It'll tear it off. There's Jaden Ojada and Ryan Sewell side by side. Title protagonists, those two, getting racy with each other very early on in this second race.
Well, Ryan Sewell losing 7 points on Jaden Ojada yesterday, which makes that gap now in the championship 28 points. So really important that Ryan Sewell finishes in front of Jaden in this race and the remaining 4 races of the championship to try and bring that gap back.
Oh, no, that's not going to do what he wants to do for Ryan Sewell. That's just paid everything you were talking about, Tony, as Ryan Sewell goes off onto the dirt, bounces across the track. Lucky to avoid any contact with anyone coming on. But what it was also was that Jaden Ojada followed him off. He managed to not put the full 4 wheels off like the Ray White entry did, but he got dirty tyres in the process there for Jaden Ojada. He really is the one with the ascendancy at the moment, isn't he, Jaden Ojeda? He's the one that's getting the race wins, and he's got the confidence running with him. Well, we've got some big streaming on the straight there, and this is for down in the minors. Right down in the minors, Dave Tones, Thomas Smith, Artie Jonick getting very racing with each other. Thomas Smith there, the SCT Logistics car, and they are still going to bump tyres with each other all the way down into turn 2. Wow, that was some pretty wild stuff in the straight here at Sydney Motorsport Park for the CAMS Payce Australian Formula 4 Championship.
Modest Finance leaderboard has Aaron Love in front ahead of Jackson Walls, who was our pole sitter. Jaden Ojeda now moves up to 3rd. He started in 5th, Lockie Hughes. He started 2nd, down to 4th now. They're our top 4 in this race. Let's have a look at what happened. You right there, Daz. Jaden Ojeda did follow him off. That's Ryan Sewell, the car that went right off and on its side at the hairpin. Made its way back onto the track now.
In fact, Thomas Smith had the wildest ride out of them. He got airborne up the back of that.
He did.
It's very easy done. Oh, Jaden Ojeda goes off again. Exactly the same spot as where we saw them go off last time round, and that tyre's got a bit of scarring on the back of Jaden Ojeda's car there. It might have been just some dirt blowing off, but it had a changed colour across the middle of the tyre, which is something to watch out for with open wheelers, because you can see that start to change. So let's hope he hasn't cut that surface of that tyre up at all, because that will soon delaminate if he's done that. So let's hope that he can keep going, because Jaden has got a championship to win. And they stream down. Well, what an action-packed opening couple of laps here. We've had cars off in the dirt. We've had cars airborne. We've had them 3 wide almost into the pit lane wall off the start. And we've only just started lap 3.
Can someone just remind these guys that it's not the final race of the season? There's still 4 more to go, including 3 in New Zealand coming up in a few weeks' time.
I have no complaint, Tony. This is what open wheeler racing's all about. There's a big spin in the background there. That's the 50.
Artie Jonick.
Artie Jonick. On debut at Phillip Island.
Who's used to dirt racing.
He is a speedway racer. So he's found the gear and just pegged it and got out of there. This is open wheeler racing. This is what it should be about. It should be frantic.
A few concerned faces down at the TBRM garage.
Yes, well, after Winton, where there was a fair bit of damaged bodywork and componentry, they don't want to be throwing more componentry at these cars, that's for sure. Gets expensive. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th.
Good battle too. Jackson Walls and Lockie Hughes. They started on the front of the grid for this race. Were swamped very early on from the line by, well, especially Aaron Love. Jaden Ojeda has worked his way through from 5th. But a couple of good battles now starting to work their way through in this race. Ojeda and Love up the front for 3rd and 4th. Walls and Lockie Hughes. And then even behind those two, Tommy Smith, Josh Smith, Ryan Sewell starting to make his way back through the pack, up into 6th place now.
Well, the 31 goes high and wide. It's not going to work. In fact, that could have ended in tears out on the dirty track out there. But Ojeda under brakes. He's going to sweep around the outside. He's got a long way to travel. Puts him on the inside for 3. And this will be signed, sealed, delivered. Race lead for Ojeda. He set himself up nicely down the straight. Took a bit of a risk going wide through turn 1, but set himself up ultimately for the long way around to turn 3, and it's got him the race lead.
He's already had 2 clean sweeps of the season, that happening at Queensland Raceway and also at Phillip Island for Jaden Ojeda, winning all 3 races in those 2 rounds, looking to do the same here at Sydney Motorsport Park after taking a win yesterday. There's Jackson Walls and his Patrici course mobile. Behind him, Lockie Hughes, who had a win at Winton a few weeks ago, his first win of the year. Of course, leading the Burson Rookie of the Year award as well, ahead of Zayd Tones in 2nd place.
Have a look at that. Jaden Ojeda got in front about 3/4 of a lap ago. It's now out over half a second to Aaron Love. In fact, Aaron Love's just pegged it back slightly, so he's having a good run. And look at this. These two are getting into a big duel here. Jackson Walls hanging on, both of them moving the cars on the tyres. Their big slide. Jackson having a good look in the mirror there to see where the number 15 is. It's right there, mate. The yellow and black nose is right up the back of your gearbox. Eyes forward at this point in time. So still plenty to play out for. Here's the battle back down with the SCG car of Thomas Smith and Josh Smith. So Josh goes through this time round. Thomas was holding the lead in that battle. So the CAMS Rising Star entry goes through. And that will be for 8th place on the road as the number 16 now sits down in 8th. Antonio Studi just up the road from these guys as well. And he's driven well, came off the back of the grid, up to 7th place then. Pensive looks down there in Team BRM. Do they know something we don't know? Is something about to bust loose? They're very, very concentrating on this battle.
Well, there guys in there watching are Aaron Love, Lockie Hughes and Zayd Tones, currently sitting in 2nd, 4th and 5th. Josh Smith also under the Team BRM banner. Jano Jada for AGI Sport up the front.
And doing a good job now. That's out over 1.5 seconds, so he's got in the lead of the race. Love stayed with him for the best part of 3/4 of a lap. Now Ojeda stamping his authority on the Formula 4s for the CAMS Payce Australian Formula 4 Championship. And we saw him stranded at Symmons Plains. We saw him stranded on trackside at Winton so far this weekend. He's doing a good job of getting out in front of these races. Jackson Walls now. He's in P3. Lockie Hughes right in behind. This is a ripper battle. And it looks as though Zayd Tones and Ryan Sewell are slowly starting to gather these two up.
Yep, there could be a race in 4 very, very shortly. Back there for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Ryan Sewell has made his way after heading off the track from the back of the pack up to 6th place now. Up the inside, up the outside now for Lockie Hughes on Jackson Walls. Can he get it done? No, Walls just enough power to hold on. Lockie Hughes off through the Morris Finance sign and rejoins the track unscathed. That could have been a lot worse.
Quick plug there for Morris Finance on the way through there, Tone. I like that. Good pickup. But it certainly hurt him. Jackson really did have a big understeer at 2 there and was lucky that they both didn't drive off. It was just on the exit of that corner that it all fell away for Lockie Hughes. And this is getting very racy. Ryan Sewell making up a spot there. Goes through on Zayd Tones. Zayd Tones carrying a number with a huge amount of weight on it. The number that Alan Jones won his championship with. Casey Stoner winning multiple MotoGP championships at number 27. Here it is again. Jackson certainly didn't drive him off. He was just holding onto his line, and Lockie Hughes just ran out of track. It's the Morris Finance leaderboard on the final lap. Jaden Ojeda, Aaron Love, Jackson Walls, and back on the Morris Finance leaderboard in 4th place is Ryan Sewell. Lockie Hughes, Zayd Tones, Antonio Studi, and Josh Smith in 8th. And it's Thomas Smith and Artie Jonick, who's now gone down a lap. Our race leader, bringing it around the final half a lap. Looking closely at that tyre. There's definitely some sort of damage in the middle of that left-hand rear tyre as he comes up the hill to the last complex as the big run down the Sydney Motorsport Park straight to complete lap number 2.
So, with 1 turn to go for our leader, Jaden Ojeda on his home track here at Sydney Motorsport Park. He brings it home for AGI Sport and takes win number 11 for 2018. Jaden Ojeda takes the checkered flag. 2nd win of the weekend for him. Aaron Love in 2nd place. Tight for 3rd, up the inside, Sewell trying, but Jackson Walls able to hold on by the barest of margins. Front wheels was about it. Jackson Walls takes 3rd, Ryan Sewell 4th. Then Lockie Hughes, Zayd Tones, Antonio Studi finishing up there as well. Josh Smith, Tommy Smith, and Artie Jonick finishing last. Let's have a look at the highlights. Great start up the front though, Daz.
Yeah, Ryan Sewell drove very straight down into turn 1. Gave himself every opportunity to lead it there. This is what brought the safety car out. That's Jackson Walls in the number 11. Real shame. A real shame. Let's hope he has a terrific run at the last round. Here's on the restart again. Ryan Sewell wanting to go with Jaden Ojeda, and he did momentarily. A little pinch of the brakes there. Really didn't cost Jaden Ojeda anything at all, that lockup.
A good battle here for 3rd. It was too. Aaron Love able to take it in the end, but Lockie Hughes gave it to him all the way through the race. keeping a margin of around about 0.5, 0.6 of a second between the two of them. So Aaron Love had to make sure that he earned that third place. But definitely the man that earned the win was this guy up in front. Jada, 3 out of 3 for the weekend, 3 clean sweeps for the year, and 12 wins out of 2018.
What a mighty position to go to the final round in.
Well, the Porsche Michelin GT3 Cup Challenge for 2018 literally came down to the final race of the weekend, and there was a heartbreaking start with a crash for Cooper Murray. He stalled off the line and was hit by another competitor. The championship equation changed a little bit, and this guy here, Simon Fallon, is now celebrating at Sonic Motor Race. I'm going to dive in here, mate. That is a wild way to finish it. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's pretty wild race there. Thought got a good start there, and I was pretty excited about that. And I didn't know where Murray was. I got halfway around the lap, and the boys told me Murray's in a fence. So I was a bit sort of like, here we go. Just sort of, I got told just finish top 6. Just that's all I had to do. And so I let Max go, the leader. Let him have some fun out there, and yeah, tried to bring it home in one piece, which is a good race.
Did you go into the race before that incident still thinking you had a chance, and then when you knew that, did it start to sink in that you might actually be able to do this?
I think we went into that race. I think all weekend I've been struggling with that. I think I've been thinking about it too much in a way, and that was the one race I came into this weekend going, you know what, who cares? He's driven well all year, Murray, and props to him. Like, he's had pretty much pole position most races this year. Like, he's so quick, that kid, and he's a big talent, and unfortunately something happened. I don't know what actually happened, but yeah, it's unfortunate to see that, but yeah, it's just real good to make sure to get out there, get the win, get the championship win for all the team, and big effort by all the boys here.
Motor racing has its highs, and there are days where there are some really tough lows, and plenty of people feel for you, mate. You've had an unbelievable championship. Walk us through what went wrong today.
Yeah, just last race, went off the start line and released the clutch, and it didn't move anywhere, unfortunately. Then I got collected up the rear, and that was our race.
It's a difficult one to ask, but Cooper, how do you feel?
Devastated. All year, worked so hard, and this happens in the last race.
Do they know why the team that the clutch didn't take up? Do we know what happened?
No, apparently the clutch just burnt out, so it's just unfortunate.
Take the positives if you can. I know that doesn't mean much now because it slipped away, but you've done some amazing things this year, mate. Lots of poles and race wins. Take that. People in life often measure you not on the incident, but how you deal with it. And we wish you well for 2019, mate.
Thank you.